In every relationship, there comes a moment when a woman asks a question that sounds harmless on the surface, but carries a hidden weight beneath it. These questions are not random. They are subtle tests of your strength, your confidence, and your vision as a man. When she asks, she is not merely curious. She is evaluating whether you are someone she can truly respect and follow. Each word is designed to expose insecurity, to see if you crumble under pressure or stand firm in your values. Understanding these questions is not just about protecting your pride. It is about maintaining the balance of power that keeps attraction alive. Number 1. Do you want to check my phone? On the surface, this sounds like openness. She's offering her phone, pretending to prove she has nothing to hide. But in reality, this question is never about honesty. It's about power. A woman doesn't ask this because she wants transparency. She asks because she wants to test your frame. She wants to see if you're the kind of man who doubts, who searches for evidence, who gives away his authority just to feel safe. If you answer, "Yes, let me see it," you lose immediately. Why? Because you expose two weaknesses: lack of trust and lack of control. You become the man who needs to dig into her private world to reassure himself. That's not strength. It's insecurity. Once you play detective, she will never look at you with the same respect again. If you reply nervously, "No, I don't want to," you also lose. Because hesitation signals fear. It tells her you're scared of what you might discover. She doesn't need to show you a single text. The seed of doubt is already planted in your mind. And that's exactly how this trap works. She wins before anything is even revealed. So what is the right way to respond? You don't step into her frame at all. You don't justify. You don't get defensive. And you don't act jealous. You remain calm, composed, and indifferent to the bait. And then you say, "If we're together, I don't need to check. I'll know everything I need by the way you treat me." This line is elegant, but firm. You're not accusing her, and you're not playing her game. You're making it clear that trust is not about spying. It's about her actions, her consistency, and her respect for you. And with that one statement, you flip the pressure back on her. Now she must live up to your standard, not the other way around. Notice how different this is from weakness. A weak man either grabs the phone or avoids the question in fear. A strong man makes it irrelevant by anchoring the relationship in how she behaves, not in what's hidden behind a screen. You show that you're not a man who can be manipulated into insecurity. That is what truly separates a leader from the rest. He doesn't chase, he doesn't monitor, and he doesn't beg for reassurance. He sets the frame so firmly that the woman must either rise to meet it or fall away. And that's why, when you answer this way, she cannot help but respect you. Because she has met a man who refuses to surrender his strength for validation. Number 2, do you think I will change for you? At first, this question seems sweet. A woman is asking if she could change for you, as if she is ready to adapt. But don't let the words deceive you. This is not really about change, it's about control. When she asks this, she's not seeking your opinion. She's testing whether you believe you can shape her. She wants to know if you're naive enough to think a person changes because of love, or if you're strong enough to recognize reality. People don't transform for others. They change only when they choose to. If you answer with, "Yes, I believe you'll change for me," you expose weakness. You place yourself in a position of dependency, hoping she will become the woman you want her to be. That makes you needy, and neediness kills respect. If you answer with "No, I don't think you'll change," in a blunt or bitter tone, you also lose. because now you sound cynical, and cynicism reveals disappointment. She sees you as a man already defeated, already doubting her. The trap here is psychological. She wants to see if you will tie your happiness to her behavior. If you do, you've given away your power, because once your satisfaction depends on her change, she controls you. So how does a strong man respond? By refusing to attach his value to her transformation. He makes it clear that he doesn't wait for change. He chooses what aligns with him. One sentence is enough. I don't expect you to change for me. I expect you to be who you are. If that fits my life, we continue. If not, I walk away. This response is subtle but devastating. First, it removes any pressure from you. You're not begging or waiting. Second, it flips the responsibility back to her. If she wants to stay in your life, she must align herself with your standards, not the other way around. Third, it communicates strength without hostility. You're not angry. You're calm, certain, and uncompromising about your values. That's what separates a leader from a follower. The leader never waits for someone else to transform in order to feel secure. He defines his world, and others must adjust to it, or be left behind. A woman who hears this realizes she cannot manipulate you with promises of change. She cannot dangle the illusion of, maybe I'll become better for you, to keep you invested. She either matches your reality or loses you. And paradoxically, that's when she actually respects you. And often, that's when she begins to change on her own. Not because you demanded it, but because your strength inspired it. Number 3, do you think I'm more beautiful than the women you dated before? At first, this question sounds like an invitation to flatter her. She's giving you the chance to say something sweet, to make her feel special. But beneath the softness hides a dangerous trap. This is not a question about beauty. It's a test of your frame. When she asks this, she doesn't want the truth. She wants to see how much you are willing to bend, to compare, to put her above others in desperation for approval. If you rush to say, yes, of course, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever been with, she might smile for a second, but deep down, she loses respect because she knows you are exaggerating. She knows you're giving her the answer you think she wants, not the truth. And once she senses that, you look weak, like a man trying to buy her validation with empty words. If you hesitate, stumble, or answer clumsily, well, you're different. It's hard to compare. You also lose. Because your uncertainty shows you're uncomfortable, afraid of saying the wrong thing. That nervousness exposes weakness, and then once a woman smells weakness, attraction fades. The trap is this. She is asking you to judge yourself. The more you scramble to impress her with your words, the more you put yourself below her. The more you compare, the more power she has over your opinion. So how does a strong man answer? By refusing to play the comparison game. He doesn't insult her, but he doesn't elevate her out of insecurity either. Instead, he reframes the question with calm authority and makes her feel unique without groveling. A single line is enough. I don't compare women. You're the one I chose, and that's what matters. This answer is sharp, yet elegant. First, it ends the comparison frame completely. You refuse to rank women like trophies, and that shows strength. Second, it gives her what she truly craves. The reassurance that among all options, she is the one you've committed to in this moment. Third, it keeps your authority intact. You are not pleasing her out of fear. You are stating your choice with confidence. Notice how this shifts the dynamic. Instead of you scrambling to praise her beauty, she is reminded that your approval doesn't come from desperate compliments. It comes from decisive action. You've already chosen her, and that's stronger than any flattery. And paradoxically, this makes her feel more beautiful than any exaggerated words could, because now she knows you are a man who doesn't play games of comparison, who doesn't hand out validation cheaply, but who gives it with weight and meaning. That is the man she cannot help but respect. Number 4. What would you do if a better man came into my life? This is not really a question, it's a test. She's not curious about some hypothetical man. She wants to see how you react when your position is challenged. Will you show fear? Will you beg? Or will you stand firm in your own value? Most men fail here. If you say, "I'd do anything to keep you, I'd fight for you," you instantly put yourself in the role of a desperate suitor. You've admitted that your worth depends on her decision, not on your own character. That makes you small in her eyes. If you answer with anger, if you even think about another man, it's over. You also lose. Because your rage shows insecurity. It proves that you don't truly believe you are above competition. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who doubts himself. The trap is psychological. She wants to know if your strength is internal, or if it crumbles when the idea of competition appears. If you panic, if you try to convince her, if you show fear, then she already knows you're weak. A strong man doesn't fight for his place. He knows that loyalty isn't something you demand. It's something that flows naturally to a man of value. That's why the correct response isn't desperate or angry, but calm and detached. One line is enough. If someone else looks better to you, then you're free to go. I won't compete for what should already be mine. This answer cuts with elegance. First, it shows you're not afraid of losing her. You don't chase, you don't plead, you don't fight for scraps. Second, it makes clear that loyalty is her responsibility. If she sees another man as better, the problem is not you, it's her choice. Third, it radiates quiet dominance. You're not shouting, you're not defensive. You're simply reminding her that your value stands on its own. This is the moment she realizes. You are not the kind of man who can be manipulated with the threat of other men. You don't cling. You don't compete. You stand firm. And ironically, it's exactly that refusal to compete that makes you the man no one else can replace. Number 5. Do you think I'm more important than your work? This question sounds emotional, almost romantic. She asks it as if she's seeking reassurance about her place in your life. But beneath the sweetness lies a trap. She wants to know whether you will trade your mission for her validation. And if you fall into this frame, you lose. If you answer eagerly, "Of course, you're more important than my work," you've just killed her respect. Because in that moment, you told her that your ambition, your purpose, your very masculine core can be set aside for approval. A woman may smile when she hears it, but deep down she feels disappointed. She knows instinctively that a man who abandons his mission for her will eventually fail her too. If you answer coldly, "Work always comes first, you're second," you also lose. Because while you keep your mission intact, you present yourself as detached and dismissive. Instead of strength, she sees arrogance and emotional blindness. That only pushes her away. The trap is that this is a false choice, her or the mission. If you choose her, you look weak. If you choose work, you look heartless. Either way, you lose if you let the question define the frame. The only way to win is to reject the false choice entirely. A strong man doesn't pit his woman against his mission. He makes her understand that his work is not in competition with her. It is the foundation of the life they share. He doesn't diminish his purpose, but he also doesn't diminish her. Instead, he binds them together under his vision, One sentence is enough. My work is what allows me to give us more than just words. It gives us a future. This line is powerful because it dissolves the trap. First, it reframes work not as a rival, but as a gift. Second, it shows her that you are not abandoning her. You are building something that sustains her. Third, it maintains authority without coldness. You're not begging. You're not defensive. You're calmly reminding her that your mission is the source of security, love, and stability. This is what she truly craves. Not a man who chooses her over his mission, but a man whose mission is so strong it can carry her along with it. And in that moment, she realizes she is not competing with your ambition. She benefits from it. That is the man she respects. That is the man she will never want to weaken. Number 6. When will you finally become successful or stable? At first, this question seems reasonable. She wants clarity. She wants to know where things are going. But don't mistake it. This is not just curiosity. It is a subtle challenge. A woman asks this not when she feels secure, but when she doubts your direction. It's her way of testing whether you are truly moving forward or just drifting without purpose. To her, the question is a mirror. She's trying to see if you'll reveal weakness or demonstrate strength. If you respond defensively, I'm working on it, it's just difficult. You hand over your authority. You sound like you're pleading for understanding. If you dodge with vagueness, don't worry, it'll happen soon. You look even weaker, because vagueness without conviction is emptiness. And once she senses that emptiness, respect begins to erode. The trap here is simple. She frames you as the one on trial. The more you justify, the more you shrink. The more you explain, the more she sees you as a man, waiting for approval, instead of a man who sets his own standard. So what's the way out? You refuse the frame entirely. You don't explain. You don't justify. You set the record straight, with calm conviction. Not a promise. Not an excuse. A statement. One clear line is enough. I'm already building it now. Judge me by the results you see, not by a deadline. This answer hits with clarity. First, it reminds her that your path is already in motion. You're not stuck. You're creating. Second, it refuses to let her box you into a timeline. You control the narrative, not her. Third, it flips the test. Now the question is not whether you will succeed, but whether she has the vision and patience to stand beside a man who is already on his way. Notice the precision here. You don't raise your voice. You don't argue. You don't give excuses. You stand on certainty. You show that your worth is not tied to a date on a calendar, but to the actions you take daily. And when a woman hears this with conviction, she realizes she cannot press you into insecurity. She must either respect your pace or step aside. That is the kind of man who doesn't chase validation. That is the kind of man who owns his future, and that is the man she cannot help but respect. In the end, strength in relationships is not about reacting to every test or proving yourself through desperate words. It's about standing firm in who you are, unshaken, calm, and certain. A man who cannot be manipulated by hidden traps is a man who naturally commands respect. And when you project that kind of presence, people feel it. Women feel it. The world feels it. Because true power isn't loud, it's steady. It's the kind of power that doesn't chase approval, but attracts it without effort. If you found this message valuable, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your perspective. Don't forget to hit the like button to support the channel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson. Your growth as a man starts here. and it continues with every choice you make from this moment forward.